Testing sound.
Not hearing anything. No, we are.
Got it done. Everyone good? Nate. Testing sound.
Test sound 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Stormy.
I heard myself when I was.
All right. What's Serb sound like?
Yeah, everybody's good. Well, actually, you might need to turn me up just a little bit.
All right. Tell about now.
Let's see how it goes now. That should be fun.
Almost the same. Yeah.
All right. Welcome everyone to another round of the Black Door. What is in store for our group of assassins this week? Let's find out, shall we? So it has been roughly a week since your last mission. And was there anything that y'all wanted to accomplish during that week?
I didn't really have it. Oh, I guess I would have wanted to check to see what kind of changes were made to the orphanage that I sent all that money to.
Well, they definitely have some new school marms.
Well, that's good.
Vast improvement.
Yes, but I mean, other than that, you really can't. You don't see too many changes right off the bat.
Okay. I'll just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's not like there's, a new golden bell or anything like that.
You never know.
I have a feeling there's a story behind that. How about you, Kinjar?
Need to pick up a couple of healing potions, so I have some on me. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything.
I was also going to start doing a little bit more, or a little bit of production for this to replace the scrolls and health potions that we used last week.
Okay. Because you've had a week to do it, so a normal health potion takes about 8 hours to make one. At half the cost.
Yes. So I'm going to use a bit of the gold that I've acquired to deal with that.
Okay.
And spend like an hour each night working on those identify scrolls.
All right. Well,
otherwise, kind of be on call for services if someone in the Black Door happens to have need to ask for new supply.
all right. You've met with over the week. You've met with a couple of people, but nobody has asked. Specifically said, "Hey, yeah, can you make this for me?"
Okay.
As y'all are out and about doing your thing and you make it back for the evening, as you head back into your room, sitting on the table, there's a folded piece of parchment.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
As you open the parchment up, there's but a single name. Tanarok Swiftwing.
What color?
The key itself is gray. The horns are red. And the eyes, one is red and one is teal.
That's new. Anybody know what that means?
Well, red eyes means do it now. Teal eyes means at your pace. So I'm guessing it needs to be quick.
It doesn't have to be right now.
Start
But
on it now. Get
Don't take too long.
results.
It
And
needs to be soon. Very soon.
I was doing an alteration on my character sheet. What were the color and the horns again?
The
The
horns
horns
were
were-
red.
Gray key, red horns, one eye teal, one eye red.
Okay. Well,
And the name was Tanarok what?
Swiftwing. And I need, once the name is read out, I need all of y'all to make a history. Yeah, history check.
16.
Dirty 20.
that's a 12. I rolled garbage.
All right. So Kinjar and Axis, y'all immediately recognize this name. Tanarok is he's basically a gangster. He is a small-time mob boss. He runs a small little outfit on the northern side of town.
What is he dealing?
Mostly racketeering, a little gambling. At least that's what you know. Dirty 20, you heard he's got his, besides the racketeering and the gambling, you know, he's got a little bit of a smuggling operation.
I will relay that to everybody. The extra I know.
Anyone feeling up for some dice?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you give me a couple hour, I could probably make some dice for us to make a commotion.
I don't think we should probably do that quite yet. I just want to see if I can, if we can gather a little bit of intelligence on him first.
Never go in blind.
So
I'm-
I say,
Gonna curl that map that we got last week, and I'm going to tie on each end so that it doesn't unfurl, and then I'm going to put it in the clutches of the Envy.
All right.
And
smart.
no, Envy. When we get there, you're gonna put this down in a spot that it ain't gonna be found. You're gonna put it right up underneath one of the rafters or something. Somewhere they ain't gonna go.
All right. Wrong button.
All right, so I think we should head to the nearest gambling hall that we know is run by Tanarok Swiftwing.
Let's go to his main place. We know he runs a main place, right?
Yes, he does have a.
Yeah, let's go to his main place.
I think we should go in at separate times. Probably spread out, so whoever comes in second and third would kind of clock where the other ones are and then go in a different direction. That way we can cover as much area as we can.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
All right, so heading
Perfect
over to the
time
gambling hall.
All right.
Come on, Tinkerbell, we're going gambling.
One almost said gambling is not a good thing.
Nah, gambling's a great thing.
We ain't gambling with our own money. It'll be fine. Ain't gonna lose it.
Whose money are you gambling with?
Holds up some of the money taken from the from scrapping all of that gold and platinum and other sheets of metal. Oh, you know, an old friend.
Have you already done a plug and shown off what Nate did for us?
Hmm.
No.
We did his commercial.
Yeah, but you didn't show the other thing, which I haven't picked mine up yet. I'll be doing that tomorrow.
If you want to click on my picture, I'll go ahead and show it.
Lift it up a little bit, sir. There you go.
Say dice holding, and with the key of the black door.
And mine is currently holding Lee's cursed dice.
I love the fact that you have to screw them off.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I'm glad you like.
Nate, only thing I can say about next time is do the if you can get the the CAD for it to do the reverse screw, where it screws in both ways.
Oh,
That would have been awesome.
that would be pretty cool. All right, so I will head into the gambling hall first.
All right. So the name of this hall is called the Drunk Beholder. And the plaque that hangs out is just a circular bloodshot eyeball with other eyes surrounding it that are all bloodshot.
I like this place already. Heading in.
All right, you want to come over to Owlbear?
Oh, yep. Do. Ooh.
All right, who's missing?
Kyphin.
All right. So as you enter, you see some rough and tumble individuals there. And that one looks a little larger than he's supposed to be. I'm missing one. And as you enter in, they all kind of stop and look over at you.
I'm just gonna arrogantly walk to the bar.
All right, they're all like just watching you as you walk over.
More of a float than a walk. Walking would take forever.
I'll be there. What can I get for you? As this just big, burly looking guy. Give me a quick perception check also.
That will be a 18.
All right. The first thing you notice, well, is the smell. The
Oh.
the smell in here is very musky. Um, it smells of stale ale and burnt wood and sweat. It smells like a locker room inside of a smokehouse.
Gross.
The second thing you notice is everyone is armed.
So am I. I got my big ass cross.
It's
Always armed with fate.
let's see, from where you're at there, you can also see here. What can I get for you?
What race is he?
He appears to be human. A couple of these guys are human. A couple of them look to be half orc. The guy sitting beside you here, he's definitely a half orc. This guy up here that's headed up the stairs, who's now stopped and decides to come back down the stairs, is maybe half elf.
I'm gonna point to the guy sitting next to me and I'll have whatever he's having.
All right. Sets a mug on the table, reaches underneath the bar there, pops up this bottle, pours it in there. And this, have you ever smelled bad beer?
Yeah.
Like an ale that is just past its prime?
Old curmudgeons.
Yeah. It just didn't quite ferment all the way. it's that's kind of what it was, still in the process of fermenting. Yeah, that's what he pours in a mug. 2 silver.
I'll hand him over 4. I'll down the one he handed me and then ask for another.
All right.
I'm
After-
asking where it all goes.
Yeah. After they just kind of look at you again, and once you start on the second one, the guys at the table go back to their game. It appears to be some sort of dice game that they're playing.
As I take the second drink, I'll drop the cross and go check the game out.
All right.
So 200 pounds drops from the bar.
Kind of look at you very oddly. Now, as you head over to the table, come on. You see this carved into the wood and a small plaque. There are various gold coins. Well, various coins of various denominations. Sitting there. You see the coin, the number 7 has the most coins on it. And the other ones are just sporadically. As you're watching, they take a pair of 6-sided dice and roll it. And let's see. Let me do something real quick to give you an idea. Oh, we'll use the bags. All right.
Oh, that was my idea.
We're going to say these are all silver. We'll color code them. Oh, why don't I just color? Leave it at the orange. There's a bag there. One there. And one there. And each of these bags represents 5 silver.
Okay.
So you see a guy roll a set of dice. The number comes up a 9. There's nothing in the 9. He drops 5 silver on the 9. Next guy. I'm just going to set a dice out real quick, and I'll just rolls a 5. So he ends up taking the 5 silver off of that.
Okay. I get how this is played. So we...
You want to play?
I do.
How many bags of silver did I drop in there?
I'm putting mine in this little square.
Okay. If you want to play, gotta ante up.
I would love to play. Is there... Can you only make one bet per turn?
Everybody, have you ever played Dragon and the Thief before?
First time.
First time. All right. You hear that, guys? We got a newbie. So, everybody puts coin on number 7. All right? That's how you buy in. Gotta get back to the instructions. Hold on. So, then you re-roll the dice. The number determines which location you either place some more coin or take. If you roll a 7, you've got to put you got to put more coin in there. If you roll a 2, you get to take everything but the 7. If you roll a 12, you get to take everything on the board.
Okay.
If you roll a 4, you lose your turn. Any of the other numbers, you either place it or take it. If it's empty, you place one. If it's got something on it, you take it.
All right. Well, I'll drop 5 silver on the 7 there.
All right. Go ahead and we'll let you go ahead and roll the dice, and you just come right in.
Well, I appreciate that. An 8.
Night. Oh, you gotta play. You gotta pay. By the way, I love this game. Looks like I got a night. Well, thank you very much. And then the next guy gets an 11. And the next guy gets an 8. That was, how many was that? 3?
Yeah, you got one more.
One more. And a 4. He loses his turn. Back to you.
I rolled an 8.
You get to take the 8. See, easy rules.
I like it.
So, what are the rest of y'all doing?
Kinjar will be the next one to head in human form.
Seems like we got a lot of visitors tonight.
And I'll head over to the bar.
All right, let me get back to the. God, I can't wait till the new computer. The lag. The lag!
You do realize you just now gave me something to waste all my money on, right?
What, this game?
Yeah.
It was
how much?
interesting fact. This game is actually based on a real medieval game called The Pig and the Farmer.
I'm taking this game to my local bar and trying to play it there next.
What can I get you?
Just an ale for now.
Wait, 2 silver.
I'll lay 2 silver on the counter.
He plops a mug up there. Pours you a glass. Again, the stuff is bad. So what brings you around these parts?
Not much. I just thought I might do some gambling tonight.
All right, we got a game right over there.
Is that the only game y'all got going tonight?
It's a slow night.
Well, it looks like there's quite a few of them over there. Maybe I'll just sit over here for a little bit.
All right.
Afraid to lose your money?
Hey, he's talking to you.
No, but I'm gonna go sit at the table in the corner.
I'm gonna mutter to the other guys at the table, bad mouthing how much of a coward he is because he doesn't want to come lose his money to us.
I'm just gonna say, dark, broody, edgy rogue sitting in the corner of the tavern, drinking his ale.
Hey, Nate, just give me give me 3 more dice rolls.
At some point, I'm buying them all around the strongest thing in the house too.
Bad beer.
I rolled 4 4s in a row.
All right.
They're really liking you.
Changing those dice out.
That works for us. But yeah, the money, for the most part, going through the motions of the game, it seems fairly. Nobody's losing too much or winning too much. It's, you take one out, you put one in. It's pretty much just a shuffling back and forth and just some BSing.
All right. My goal is to get these guys as drunk as I can.
Okay. And so you said you want to buy them around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys.
They invited me into the game. The least I can do is to buy them around.
All right. So. Oh, I was like, what the hell is that sitting at the table? That's your cross. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to mark where it was.
All right. So you're being broody off to the side here. You want to play some cards? Get a little friendly game of cards going.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Dave. Davies, come over here. Oh, play some cards. Okay. I honestly don't have a card game. So you're basically going to be playing like a D&D version of Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
I was thinking 5-card stud.
There is a
You got 3 Dragon Ante.
3 Dragon Ante, but I don't have that game or its rules.
there's a dice version.
It also takes a while and not really a stream thing.
Yeah, it's
There's a simple dice version. You roll 3d12. Those are your cards. If you can make a straight or a triple,
there you go.
3d12.
yeah.
Gotta love to the D12.
And it either goes to the higher or whoever has a straight or multiples of the same. Blah blah blah.
Well, I ain't getting shit on my D12s. Oh,
Ow! I went to swap at a bug that was flying around and ended up grabbing my beard and yanking. So, all got a pair.
Let me. I also have a pair.
What do you got a pair of?
2s.
I got a pair of fours. So yeah, you play a few rounds. Just roll a d12. 2 more times.
Not 3.
Yeah, just one single d12.
Alright.
First one is
4.
you lost that
Okay.
hand.
10.
12.
So I'm down on about 15 silver.
Yeah. All right. And the other 2, what are you guys doing?
I'm across the street while he's getting ready to go in, and I'm scanning to see if there's like another entryway, like a broken panel in the roof or something.
You do see some windows up top. This is a 2-story building. You do see like some windows above the entrance and on the sides.
Are they any of them open?
There is, as a matter of fact, as you're kind of looking around, one of the windows that's upstairs from here does appear to be open, and there is somebody near it. Give me
Give you a what?
no, never mind. You just see somebody up there.
Okay. I do not have access to my pin.
You don't have access to what?
My figure. I'm gonna let
Oh, right, he's down at the
Kyphon-
very, very bottom of the tokens.
not on mine.
There,
That is a skull.
there.
I will be out here for now while Kyphon gets to do things.
All right. These are trees that are as high as the building,
Okay.
and it's a very small plot. What you see is pretty much it on the plot of land. Actually, there is another door back here.
Back here.
No, right here.
Ah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm good for now. Let the beefalo in.
Kyathan will walk to the door, and I'm not sure which token we're using for him now. Okay, good enough. Kyathan will simply walk in and head over to the bar and ask if there's any working women of the night around. Not for what you think, you dirty bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you say.
He needs help brushing his hair.
All right, so you're heading into the bar.
You three of a kind.
All right, oh, you're a big one, aren't you? What can we do for you?
Are there any ladies working tonight? And of course, round of your cheapest for everybody.
No, we don't have any ladies working here.
Damn. Oh, then I guess 2 rounds and I'll go gamble.
All right, that'll be full silver. Are you buying
take
rounds for
that-
everybody or just yourself?
Everyone.
Oh, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Kyathan just pulls out 3 gold and asks if this is enough.
Oh, yeah, that's enough.
He'll put it on the counter, take a tray of beers, and walk over to the dice game because it looks like the most fun, and start handing out pictures to everybody.
Oh, hi!
There we go. Why don't you join us? Our mugs are just empty.
Not for long, not for long.
So, if you haven't played Dragon and the Thief before, you have to explain the rules.
I'm seeing you just roll 2d6s and the number you place or you take.
That's right. Pretty much.
You guys got it.
So it's like Grandma and the Pig. Got it.
Oh, I think it's very similar, yeah.
All right then. Place. He'll count out. He'll try to count out 5 silver to put on 7, but you just can't count up to 5. You can only count to 4.
You need one more there, mate. One more.
So he puts 4 silver and a gold on top of this. On top of the 7.
Yep.
All right.
That's good.
That'll
good.
work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
And do I roll now, or do everyone else roll once? Then my turn.
Go ahead and roll.
You go ahead.
No, I didn't know if you got the message.
11.
We have anything on 11 right now?
I don't know. I have to go back to that map.
Yeah.
Yep, there's.
Five silver there.
He'll simply put one finger down and cover the entire 5 silver, and then
So
disappears.
pretty much when we saw her changing into something that looked like a
Say that again.
He just puts one finger down and to
manatee.
fingernails the bottom silver, of the 5 silver, and just picks it up and puts it into his pocket.
Okay.
Because
Very nice,
he is
very nice.
massive.
Oh, did you guys?
All right. I believe it's your turn there.
Let's see what we got here. How drunk are they?
Not any much more than what they were when you came in.
Okay. Got a 9.
Right there, mate.
I'm gonna let it go around a couple times, and then I'm gonna see what kind of shots this guy has.
All right. Let's see here. So we'll just say over the course. The table gets loaded. The only thing that hasn't been rolled has been a 7, a 12, and a 2.
Perfect.
I was having noticed that roll just now.
I have a plan.
All right.
It involves them having to be drunk as hell.
Do you think this is something they do on a regular basis, just from your sitting around, and it's probably going to take a few more drinks, quite a few more drinks to get them sloshed? They seem to be the types of individuals that drink heavily and often.
Boss, the liquor is going to be flowing like water tonight.
Yeah.
We're tapping them out.
All right. So
Yeah, like I said, I want to order like the strongest shots that this bartender has. Like, I want to get these
you
guys.
say that, and he brings you the same thing.
All right, fine. I'm gonna break out my personal stock.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass that around.
All right. Sir, you still playing your card games over there?
Yeah. Yeah, how many times do you want me to roll?
Give me 3 more rolls.
12,
Hey, you win a hand.
7,
You win 2 hands.
and 7.
You win 3. You win the next 3 hands there. So
Got my silver back.
10, 20, 30 gold back.
$30 gold. Nice.
I'm sorry, silver. I'm sorry.
Hey.
The Beefalo Dells in gold, not you. And that's
Hey.
simply because it's easier to pick up a gold coin than it is a silver coin.
Sir, give me a perception roll.
All right. That would be an 11.
Okay. All right. Roll. Go another 3 rounds there.
All right. 2, 6, 7.
The first round, the guy on the left of you wins. Next round, the guy on the right. Round after that, the guy on the left. So you're back. You've lost 15 gold or 15 silver again.
So I'm back to even.
Can you? All right. Archimedes.
Yes.
And what are you doing?
I'm orchestrating outside for a little bit, seeing if seeing if my sins can check other ways in that I can have that map placed for a bit.
Okay. Are they going to check out do some second story work there? Kind of look in the windows?
A little bit with their wings, yeah.
All right. So what you see, the windows, 2 in the front, then 1 there, and a window off to the side with an individual in this room. This guy is counting money.
Guy.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you got this guy over here asleep. But this window right here is open.
The one over the desk with the guy who's awake counting money.
Yep.
Okay. And down at the bottom are stairs to the first floor. Got it. I'm gonna get Pride to come over to this window, the one that wasn't immediately open. See if it can check if it's locked or something.
It is not a window that can open. It's just a pane of glass.
Hmm. Hmm. Well.
But he can see that those two in the front do open.
He's going to work his way around and perch on this one. And see about opening it quietly.
All right. Does he have any sort of pick lock skills?
He literally only has my proficiency bonus.
And you have a pick locks or thieves tools?
Yes.
Proficiency. Okay.
He rolls a dirty 20 because I am still at proficiency level 2.
All right. Well, that's actually enough to. He takes one of the wings, one of the feathers, kind of comes out, goes in between where the things are, and just slowly lifts up the little latch that's on the inside, and the window swings open just a little bit.
He'll push the window open a little bit more. He's going to look up to see if there's rafters or if it's like finished ceiling.
There are rafters, but the ceiling itself is only about 10 feet. It's only about 10 feet up.
So with the window open, he's going to go back to the tree that he had perched in. Envy is going to come in and go in and go perch on a rafter in there.
Okay.
And with that done, he's going to like nestle it up into. He's going to look to see if there's any other stuff that's up here in the rafters. Because it'd be pretty embarrassing to just leave this thing here and, oh look, there's a couple of chests up here. There's this thing.
No, these are beams that you can see. I mean,
yeah. So I'm going to assume that
there's spider webs up there.
That's actually a good thing. He's going to slide the thing as close to a spider web without putting it in there.
Okay.
And then he's just going to like hop to like awkwardly hop to the very center and wait there.
Okay. Now these here in the center, they're actually set in the floor. And it's like a floor brazier.
Okay. Yeah, he's just going to stand on the beam and stay there for the moment.
Okay.
And I'm going to get a clicking, and then I'm going to nod to myself and head in. walk up to the bar.
All right, so the beefalo is over here playing cards or playing dice. What can I get you?
It's been a long. It's been a long time since I be in here. Have you gotten anything else other than the old barrel?
No.
Well, then you already know the answer, then, don't you? I'll take 2
You pour it.
and puts down
Hockey.
puts down 5 silver and says, "I'll take 2. Keep the extra."
He plops up 2 mugs there, fills them.
What you got going tonight? You look like you got a little bit more company than the last time I come through here.
Yeah,
That was like 2 years ago, though.
it seems like we've got a lot more people in here tonight than normal.
You sound suspicious of that.
Never know who's coming through the door.
Ain't that the truth? Have you got any fare back there, or is it just a drink?
Oh, you want some food? Yeah, I've got some food. What would you like? I got stew and stew.
You got some bread to go with that, Stu?
Yeah, it comes in a bread bowl.
Excellent. I'll take one of those. How much? Getting ready to be handed a bread bowl that's as stiff as wood.
Yeah, I'd probably let that soak for a little while.
What do you think the second beer is for? It's to soak the outside.
That'll be 8 silver.
Yeah. Put a gold piece down. Pour yourself a drink. You deserve it. You look like you already had a long night.
Mm-hmm. He takes it and you see him disappear into the kitchen. He opens the door up and just stick out a little bit so I can grab him if I need to. Oh, you want to come over and play some dice?
You got dice going on over there?
We got a dice game going on. Come on.
Let me wait on my bread bowl. I'll come over right after. How that sound?
All right. It doesn't take long before he comes back out with your bowl, and it's a stew.
And that's all about that can be said for it.
It's got some meat in it.
Well,
I was expecting you to say it's got chunks. It's got watery.
It's not water. It's very thick. It's like real thick.
It's been sitting on the stove for a week. He just keeps adding scraps to it.
This is mostly potato. I think I'm gonna take this over to the table. Thank you very much. And scramble off.
All right. All right.
Which gave me this? Take a look.
Oh. This is Dragon and the Thief.
Dragon and a thief.
Dragon and the Thief.
You bet money, you lose money, you take money. It's a whole thing.
I think I hear about this one before. Yeah. Give me a moment, and I'm happy to ante up. Go ahead and take a round while I try to stick a spoon in this and see if it even work.
Good luck.
Make sure you take a swig right after. It helps it go down.
I wouldn't worry about that. And he takes out what looks to be a salt shaker and just like daps some into both of the pitchers or both of the mugs and the soup. Prestidigitation to make it all taste good. Just puts it down on the table. And as long as the spoon will actually go into this and come out without physical heavy effort, it'll be a fine meal.
It's really thick. It's
All right, so before round starts, I'm gonna pass my personal stuff around, get them a little more loose.
all right. All right, we're gonna say 1 and 3 are they're looking like they're starting to get a little loopy.
How's 2 looking?
They got that lean started.
2 and 4, they look just fine.
All right, since we were last here, what does the table look like now? About the same.
Yeah, I'll say it looks about the same.
All right. All right, so here's my plan. It's gonna go one of 2 ways. It's either gonna go good or it's gonna go terribly. I have a pair of loaded dice.
All right.
When it gets to my turn, I want to switch them out so that I roll 12.
All right. So I will need to see a stealth roll.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
Oh, yeah, sleight of hand. Sorry. For some reason, my brain was telling me stealth or sleight of hand was no longer a 5e skill.
Yeah, they did actually keep those ones separate. And that is a nat 20.
I rolled 2 and 4 I rolled them normal. The other two I rolled them with disadvantage.
Kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, nobody notices you swap the dice out.
Beefalo and Archie would get the roll too.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at your hands. I'm busy looking at everyone else's hands on the board.
As I pull what is effectively just summertime creamy peanut butter up out of the bowl. I go to eat that and I clock I might clock 19 plus skills, perception.
And he rolled a nat 20.
Dirty 24. 19. I rolled a 19.
What's your max on that nat 20? Axis?
What is a nat?
On your natural 20? What would it have been maxed out?
With my sleight of hand, it would have been a 25.
Yeah, so no. You didn't even come close to noticing. Well, you came close, but not close enough.
It's as I look up to almost catch that, I see it starting to drip and immediately just, this ain't so bad.
Well, I believe that's game, boys.
So what'd you roll?
12.
I'm just checking.
They were loaded dice. They roll whatever I want.
Well, that's what I wanted to know. What'd you?
Oh yeah, I rolled 12.
All right. So yeah, you clear. I believe the 12 clears the table. Whoa! Dragon takes all the coins on the board.
That's 60 gold, or that's 6 gold in the pot.
Yeah, that way I want to state that you can find this game on CrichtonBroadhurst.com. And just type in the Dragon and the Thief. The board was created by Matt Morrow. So yeah, you clear the board there. Take it all.
Sorry about your luck, guys.
That's how the game's played.
You ever get anything more high stakes in here?
Well, usually that's just round 1.
Oh, round 1.
Well, yeah.
Round 2 is the same?
Yeah,
Round 2 same game.
Round 2, we move up coin. We go to gold.
I'm going gold, huh? That's what I'm talking about.
One gold or 5 gold pot for the.
Well, we start off with 1 gold. We don't want to get
So
too.
It's just a double. I get it.
1 gold on the 7. Or yeah.
So what'd you put up there? Did you throw a platinum piece up there or something?
Who, me?
No.
I'll just put gold properly. This time, because I actually know what gold is, I'm actually putting gold there. Because it's easy to grab.
No, I'm just saying this was Tormy, or not Tormy. Yeah, this is Tormy who put that.
Sorry, I marked them as white. I don't know why.
So that's a gold.
I just put 2 of the 5 silvers up.
There, I marked it just as a gold.
That's weird. I do not understand why. I cannot. Oh God, that explains.
You got to click it again. Yeah, there you go.
So, who runs this place anyway?
Oh, the boss.
Who's the boss?
Oh, Swiftwing.
I don't think I've ever heard the name.
That's good. Hey, oh, you gonna? Oh, okay. You wonder how much gold you were putting that.
I'm trying to figure out what the current color is for gold.
Gold is
What it was.
That's gold right there. That's silver and that's gold.
Orange is silver, and it looks like teal is gold.
Yeah, it's just the first color I picked.
Switching over. We're good.
I just moved 2 of the 5 stacks over.
Fine.
All right, we've still got an extra.
You have 6 gold in there total. Somebody put an extra 5 silver in.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a gold piece.
I'm blind. That's supposed to be a gold piece. Sorry.
All right, we got it taken care of. All right. We'll start with you. You feathery fool.
Rolled an 8. Place an 8.
No, you didn't.
I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12 because I didn't switch the dice out.
Well, that was a short game. All right. Round 2 was pretty quick.
Yeah, I didn't even get to play. What the hell?
All right.
So now what do we move up to?
We're moving up to platinum.
Ooh, big money, big money. This is what I came here for.
Platinum is white.
Yep.
Scoop into my bag and bring out like 10 gold stacks instead.
All right. 2. All right. You went last time. I'm going this time.
Yeah.
All right. Need everybody at that table to make a perception roll.
$22.
21.
19.
All right. You see this guy swap out the dice.
Peter!
What? He's cheating!
On the table.
One of the other guys grabs him. You cheating! You trying to cheat us?
Grabbing his hands before he can sneak them off the table.
I'm going to put my big ass hand over top of theirs and start crushing. It's not nice to cheat.
I need another perception roll.
21.
19 again.
23.
Kyofin, the guy, one of the other guys that was sitting at the table that went to grab him, you see he attempts to swap out the dice.
If I can, reach over and grab his arm.
He cheating too?
It's not nice to cheat.
I think.
I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at everybody else, and then I'm going to look down at my soup. I'm going to pick up the salt shaker, dab some more, or do a different dab into the soup, stir it around, and pull out a gob of this and go like, it tastes pretty good. Why don't you give it a try? And go to stuff it in the first cheater's mouth, and it tastes like ghost peppers.
I was gonna say as my action, I was gonna switch my cross over to revolvers, and I was gonna stand off both of them.
Except your cross is over by the
Carolina Reaper.
Your cross is over by the bar.
Yeah, I can call it to me, can't I?
Well, that's right. You can just summon it up. All right, so you're gonna do ghost peppers in them. All right. Give me a basic attack roll, just like as if you were doing hand to hand.
Okay. Should be up here. That would be a 19 to hit.
Okay. He starts breathing hard. He's trying to grab his ale. It's been knocked over because the Kyofin has got him. The table has been jarred. The coins are kind of spread out across the top of it.
Stick my spoon back in my soup. You see, this right here, I have learned is a good way to sort out the cheaters. If I dab it just right, and then I put it into their mouth, if they think it too spicy for them, they be cheating.
So everybody needs to take a bite of this.
Hand it up, or go to give the spoon to the next person that went to cheat.
All right.
I'm going to hit the 4 of them, and then I'm going to re-up the taste so that it is like a hearty actual stew, and then I'm going to feed it to the other 3 of us.
No.
Shared my drinks with you. And you want to cheat me.
There's some way you could have done that so much better than just the 3 of us, but thank you. You should have done the one who's explaining the game to not be spicy as well. Because everyone trusts him. If he's not cheating, then everyone trusts that we're not cheating.
Oh, I'm just intimidating the fuck out of these guys.
Roll me an intimidation roll.
Can he have advantage because I'm right there?
I have
Not cheating.
I have advantage because of the cross.
Actually, you had it right. The person who specifically stated that that the rest of us are all going to be taking this test, he doesn't get hit. So it's 4 people that get hit with the like good stew taste. The other 3 get hit with the ghost pepper.
That'd be a 25 to my intimidation.
All right, well,
1 foot tall pixie.
a 25. Oh, by the way, you've been drinking too, correct? Oh, never mind. I forgot your.
I have been. Doesn't do anything.
It's.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him, but I've been drinking though.
Oh, give me a Constitution roll.
Oh god, here we go.
Let leave luck be with us die.
That's the one roll that I'm not worried about with him. Probably the only
You
save he
should have
has is
been.
not negative.
You should have been.
Oh God.
That's not one.
Yes.
At least that was with your die. So it's your die. It was in that one.
I feel vindicated. So, Kaifin, your stomach feels weird. And that stew's not helping.
I'm gonna shout out, bartender, where's the bathroom?
Outside.
I'm still gonna hold on to the 2 guys' forearms and just run outside to go behind a bush.
Drop those 2.
Are you gonna?
You're gonna
Are
have
you
to give.
No, I'm keeping hold of them until they taste.
They've already
They're
tasted.
gonna have
Drop
to
'em.
deal with this.
Yeah,
Are you
and
gonna-
actually, because 3 of them tasted it, only 2 of them reacted.
Okay.
Because
You're
one
gonna do
one
that.
of them you kept from reacting, and the other one rolled really well.
That's fair.
Is this mud butt or is this fountain?
Huh?
Is this mud butt coming on or fountain?
Oh no, your stomach just doesn't feel good. It feels like you haven't thrown up. You just feel like you want to.
Okay, then it's not that much of a problem until it actually is an urgent need.
Those 2 stay here until I talk to their boss.
You don't want to talk to our boss.
I don't think you want to talk to your boss right now.
The 2 that are sitting at the table with you stand up and draw their weapons.
Which are the 2 that I intimidated?
That would be the that would be the 2 that are on either side of
Kaithan?
yeah. These
So
2
the 2
right here.
behind me.
The 2 that are about to be toilet paper. Got it.
This guy pulls out a crossbow.
Did the 2 at my table react as well?
Yeah, they got up and pulled their weapons. They drew their swords.
As a reaction to that, can I give them both a little poke?
What are you gonna do?
Give them a little poke with my swords.
So you're actually going to poke them with your swords, or
I think he's saying he wants to stab them.
are you gonna actually stab attack them, or?
Well, I'm thinking use my swords poison on them. So I would
So
have to just
that's a physical attack.
It would be attack, yes.
Just note, I did not make the plan go sideways this time.
So if you're going to attack them, give me an attack roll.
That would be a 18.
Oh, hold on. I got to get to the proper screen.
Oh, there goes my plan.
They were both 18.
Okay, yeah. You're only going to be able to get one of them before we roll initiative.
DC 15 con save from the whoever gets poked first.
$14.
Nope. He is now paralyzed.
All right.
I'm going to, as all of this is starting to go off around me, I'm like, I just wanted to eat my soup. As I pull up, I run a finger over, or I run a small stone over the ingredients in the soup, casting light on it, and then fling it at one of the.
No, we're rolling initiative first.
That's fine. That works. This will be fine.
19 for me.
$22.
$15.
I got a 2.
Oh, I guess I need to roll damage on that attack too if it was an actual attack.
You can say it was non-lethal.
I don't think he has those options. I think it has to be
When you're trying to poison someone, introduce poison into a body, and you're using a sword, you've attacked them. It's had it been, some smaller instrument, but an assassin, pokey, maybe a needle or poison drink.
Uh, 13 piercing damage and 6 poison damage.
Oh, 19 altogether. All right.
Yeah. And he is paralyzed for 1 minute.
All right. Axis, what did you roll on initiative?
19.
Okay. Just making sure I labeled these correctly. All right. Archie.
Yes.
So what is it that you were doing?
Running, or basically casting the light cantrip on the goop in my spoon. And
Okay.
then launching the ingredients that are in that spoon at one of the people that are at my table so that the light will hit them in the face, hopefully.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
That will be a 17 because I am not proficient in goop.
All right. Do something. Should have probably done this beforehand, but A, B, C. Oop. No, that's right. And D. E. Now, did you capitalize those?
What?
All I capitalized was the D. I didn't capitalize anything else.
Don't capitalize anything. I had them small for a reason.
Well, the reason I capitalized them so I could actually see what the letter was.
The letter's more for me than because I've got them labeled a certain way on my D&D Beyond, so that way I can keep track of them.
And the capital B would be the one that took the damage and is paralyzed.
I suppose I'm hitting lowercase b in the face with goop. Soup goop.
The ocean is a soup.
Yeah. We've heard that
And
before.
the continents are croutons.
Croutons. All right, you said you're hitting little B with in the face with the soup.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hot glowing soup. Hope that does some wonders for his eyes. And with that, I am going to
Give me roll me give me a D4.
4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
The hot soup. It burns.
And with that, my feathery ass is going to let them get attacks of op on me as I flit my way back to this corner. Not quite out, but
All right.
letting.
C technically can't get an attack opportunity because I'm grappling.
And Pride will fly to about here. This is my turn. So Soup Boy, who has, so Little B has soup in his eyes. Hopefully, Dill, I believe, gets an attack of op on me.
Grapple does not affect reactions. He can still take a swipe.
He can. Just wasn't sure if there was going to be disadvantage or a minus or something.
Alright. I forgot who was standing where. Alright, B and C. Alright.
Mm-hmm. I was right here, but they're gonna get their attack of op as I rush to get out of the way.
Ooh. So
They have to
okay.
beat an 18.
Well, soup in the eyes gave him disadvantage, and you're lucky because I crit on it. And I went with the disadvantage because he's currently kind of engaged with the beefalo, who's grabbed one of his arms.
Okay. I'm happy with all of this.
Does that end
That's
your
my
turn?
turn.
All right.
Yes.
So A is going to come here and swing at the beefalo. The first swipe is a 22 to hit. The second swipe is a 17.
AC of 18, the 22 hit.
All right. You're going to
Keep
take
in mind, you're not raging right now.
6 points of damage from that. And Kinjar, after he swipes at Kyofin twice, he turns and throws a dagger back towards you. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Back over here. You're going to take 4 points of damage from the dagger. And then the guy you stabbed.
Paralyzed.
Oh, shit. That's right.
It's only for a minute, so 10 rounds.
Dun dun dun.
Is there a save on it?
Just the initial.
Just the initial 15 con save is the only thing I have on it.
Yeah, and it lasts for 1 minute.
All right.
So he's effectively out of this combat.
More or less, yeah.
All right. Axis.
Alright, I'm gonna yell out, it didn't have to be this way. And then I am dropping. I'm assuming that's roughly about 15 feet.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
That's a 15-foot area of darkness that I cast on the table below me. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to move there.
all right.
Isn't that supposed to be a 15 radius?
15-foot radius sphere.
Oh,
So wouldn't it
that's not
be
15 feet radius.
That's diameter. Mm.
Is it bigger then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Twice.
Double.
That's fine. Double that, yeah.
So there's one.
like it would be out to about here. If it's centered here, it'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
about there.
Yeah.
One guy's got, or B's got to be fucking confused. His world got very hot and
Bright, and
like,
now it's
bright
completely
light.
dark. I'm blind! I'm blind! He blinded me!
Yeah, so it didn't have to be like this. Black.
That ends your turn.
Yeah, that will end my turn.
You realize I'm going to take another feat because of you now, right?
Kinjar.
I'm going to have to get blind fighting.
All right.
It's what they do, man.
So since he blacked out that whole area over there, I'm gonna go ahead and attack this guy again.
All right. You have advantage on it. He's paralyzed. He can't react.
That means you get your
21
sneak
to
attack
hit.
damage.
And any crit within 5 feet that hits, there's an if you hit him, it's a crit.
Okay. All right.
And you get sneak attack because you had
It's a crit.
advantage.
All right. So that's 18, 26 plus my rolls, or
Max
does
dice plus
sneak attack-
rolls.
Yeah. Okay. 26 damage, and let me roll now.
I'm going to go ahead and take the 26 off of him.
Playa.
And another 14.
So 40 total.
And if he's still alive, just happens to still be alive.
He's
Then,
breathing. He's bleeding profusely, but he is still breathing.
All right, then I need 2 con saves. Oh wait, that was just the first attack. I still haven't even done my second attack. I need 1 save.
I think you just one-shotted this guy.
Well, technically, it's 2 shots.
Yeah, that's true.
You go ahead and roll your damage. Is it over 6?
Yeah, I hit, and he's still
it's crit.
paralyzed,
Yeah, I know. That's it.
So it's, I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot.
You dropped him.
You dropped him.
Yeah, occasionally Kinjar just goes ape shit on something and slashes it to ribbons.
Is that end your turn?
Full attack, so you can't move.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and get rid of
Yeah,
that
well,
body for you.
Go, kitty, go.
Actually, no, I'm going to put that body back for a second.
That's concerning.
We'll give them. The black doesn't show up too well, so we're going to say.
Become red.
Oh, there we go, red.
Red is dead.
Just
Just
there.
as many colors as possible.
There, that's a dead.
All right.
That's why we can keep track of which ones are dead. All right, is that end your turn?
Yes.
All right, so right at the top of the stairs. You see this?
Werewolf.
Well, technically, it's a tabaxi. Well, actually, hold on a minute. Let's. All right. Let's see if you see him, Axis.
18 on my perception.
No, you don't see him.
So he's there, but he's not.
As
You said perception.
yeah, from where you're at, you're not going to be able to see him.
Okay.
He's
You
upstairs.
would have stairs.
So what's your AC, Axis?
13.
13. All right. So
I don't like that finger.
all right. Okay, you will. All right. 5 points as the arrow pierces you. Oh, no,
Okay.
sorry. Wrong dice. It's a total of 9 points as the arrow pierces you.
Okay.
And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 15.
16.
16, okay. You're going to take 11 points of poison damage.
Ouch.
And you notice him just in time for him
I need to make a dexterity save.
to head back up to the stairs. Or to head back away. Dexterity save, what do you...
Reaction spell.
Okay.
What does he have to beat?
Oh, DC 17.
What kind of save is it?
He already
Dexterity
said it was
save.
attacks.
Dex. That's right.
It's okay.
I rolled a 16, and that's not counting his pluses.
Alright, so he'll take half damage. 7, 14. He'll take 10 damage as fire erupts around him and burns him.
Alright. Alright. Baby A. Gonna try to swing for... Oh, this is gonna get ugly. This is gonna get ugly fast.
Yep. Yes, it is. And that's why I lead with that spell.
Oh, it's not gonna get that ugly though.
There's still time.
Being in magical darkness kind of
At disadvantage, I rolled the same thing twice.
Nice.
Was meant to be.
Kyle Finn, what's your armor class again, sir?
18.
18. Ooh, just barely bypassed you. So I rolled a 16, they have a +3. And you're going to take 3 points of slashing damage across your chest. Something's attacking you in this darkness. What's your, we're going to do a contested, so you got to roll strength, I got to roll strength, or...
For grapple, yeah.
For grapple, yeah.
What is it, strength or athletics? Or no, strength. Shit. So it gives me the condition, but it doesn't tell me how to break it.
I don't think they can beat the 23 anyway.
Yeah, no.
Can't hear you, sir.
I was talking to myself. It's all right. I said this is gonna be fun because I have a crazy idea that I'm gonna pull or try and pull in a minute.
Kaiofen. It's your turn.
Bonus action rage, and I'd like to see if I can throw C into the fire pit right there. Due to labyrinthian recall, I know exactly where the fire pit is.
All right.
You said
Wait,
you
you're
needed to
not
take
gonna
wine
use your new
fighting.
proficiency? You've got a hold of 2 dudes.
I got a hold of 2 dudes, but I'm throwing one in there, and
That way,
I'm
you
raging.
and the other motherfucker.
Exactly. That way I can probably knock the other one prone in my next turn.
Use both of them to put all 3 into the fire bowl.
See, I actually thought about that, but I don't think I'd be able to do that with C because I have to pick him up over the table to do that. So I'm just going to throw C to the fire pit, and then next turn take little D and just.
All right. Well, give me a strength roll to throw C.
The strength roll was a 21.
That's to throw him. That wasn't the one to break the grapple.
That's the throw, yes.
All right. So, C
Breaking the grapple was 23. Throwing
hits the fire.
He bounced.
Takes 4 points of damage from the fire, and then bounces on the table, hits the table, taking another. My dice are hiding from me. Another point of bludgeoning damage as he hits the table there.
And that's my turn.
Oh, that's great.
And he is prone.
That Kinjar right up.
Yep.
Yeah, but
No,
now
wait
I
a minute.
can't do what I was gonna try.
Actually, no, it's not Kinjar's turn. It's
No.
Archimeni's turn.
I'm going to use all of my god damn it.
Oh shit, I've missed a guy.
Deal with the other guy and then come to me.
No,
It's
go
not
ahead.
order.
Go ahead. I know what this guy did.
How high is the ceiling?
Roughly in here, probably about 8 foot. It's not very high.
So, not worth flying.
I know.
So in that case, I am going to race down this wall, smudge some colon oil, and slide my thumb right underneath underneath the
Kinjar?
human's eye. Yeah,
Kinjar's
right under
eye?
Kinjar's eye, and give him aided strike, +7 to your next attack. And then I'm going to continue moving this way across And Pride is going to come into the doorway, see all of this, and even
Oh,
he
yeah.
does something.
So,
He doesn't do anything.
Envy upstairs
Yeah.
saw the guy come out quickly, looked down, fired. The flames went up. The guy runs back into the room and slams the door.
I'm going to start getting rambling, clicking Morse code message from upstairs.
Yeah. Was that end your turn?
That would be my turn.
All right. So, wrong map. So he's gonna run back out. You do get an attack of opportunity at a disadvantage. Kyofin.
Mighty Beefalo. Backhand a motherfucker.
I was gonna say, would a 26 hit?
And that's with disadvantage.
That's a disadvantage. Other ones are critical.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. That's just D8 plus 4 or plus 2 is rage.
Oh, it'd be his with
6 plus.
14 damage total.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I rolled max damage. I love you dice, Lee. Look great.
Shut up. That's it. No more dice giveaways, and it's all his fault.
They gave you a nat 1 on a barbarian's con save, okay?
It's not the point.
I
Make
didn't.
up for-
I did not just spend all that time for that.
So he comes out quickly, more quickly than he expected, shakes his head, sees the feathery fool, and swings. But the feathery fool, he is still disoriented from his first, from being whacked by the Minotaur. So Archimedes sees an opening, and if he so chooses, can take his reactionary for a quick counter strike.
This guy's luck just keeps running. Up comes the light hammer, and I just rolled a 20. Thank God it's not much damage, but still, that is.
That guy's just having a bad
It's
day.
just, it's just I see him coming at me, and it's hammer is just down. The sharp side is out towards him. Stop! He stops with a few inches of it in him.
So what's the damage on that?
5 points.
Okay. Well, he's taking his next swing at you for a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Does 4 points of damage. He swings at you with his dagger, but you're able to turn to take your hammer, pull it out of his body, and knock the dagger to the side. And
It's all kind of silly too, because he's struggling to pull the hammer out, and the hammer coming back to him is what parries it.
then, because that guy's dead. That will bring us to Axis.
I'm going to yell out "No witnesses" as I take a drink from my flask and activate my amulet. 4, 8, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. All right. So that'll heal me for 26 points. And then I am
just up in the ante.
Come on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going upstairs.
All right.
No witnesses. Chug. Run. Well, I guess fly.
That brings us to Kinjar.
Well, since I now have other targets and can't run and jump over the bar to attack the bar guy, I'll have to attack
See?
C.
C is hasn't gotten up yet.
That means I roll with advantage, right?
Yep.
All right. So with the guided or the aid of Archie, that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And
Really
I need
happy.
a save from the guy.
Just roll your damage real quick. Regular stab damage first.
11.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. He has stopped breathing. You have found out he failed his saving throw versus poisoning versus steel. He's like got a high allergic reaction to iron.
I was
So you still have another attack there, don't you?
Yeah. All right. So this guy. That's a 16 to hit.
He actually parries your weapon.
All right then.
Does that end your turn?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's that.
Oh wait, is Archie technically 5 feet from this guy because it was attacking
No.
him, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so, huh?
So
You would have had
I get
advantage on that.
Yeah. Oh no, it didn't hit. That's even lower.
All right.
can't wait for that guy to step out of the darkness and suddenly be affronted by light again.
Alright, so. Oh, yeah, he's. I forgot. That dude is dead.
He has fallen down the multicolor well.
Yes. All right, Kyofin, I need a strength check.
My score is yes. That's a 24 for the strength check.
All right. He's just going to try to stab you now. And he doesn't do that either. All right, Kyofin. Your attack. You've got this one guy.
You struggle. It makes it fun. And I'm going to drag him out of the, if I can, drag him out of the darkness to where I can see anybody. I don't want to be swinging blind.
Which way do you want to go? Towards the door, towards the bar?
Towards the stairs.
All right, so you're going to come over this way? All right, well, you're technically out of the darkness here. Where are you going to go once you come out? You're still going towards the stairs? Nobody can hear what you're saying.
Because I now can officially see him, I will do what I took the fate for. I'll smack motherfucker with motherfucker. Through the darkness.
Okay, so you're going to head over there. You're going to head over there and smack the guy that's on Archie.
Yeah, and the other guy's going to be in darkness the entire time as I swing him out of the darkness to the other guy.
All right.
I can see! I can see! Ah!
Ah!
Does
Talk
a
about a wake-up
23
call.
hit?
Does a what?
23 hit.
Yes, a 23 hits.
Okay, and damage is a D4 plus strength mod.
Yep.
That's 9 damage to both of them, I think.
Yep.
Ouch.
And for bonus attacks, since I moved that far, I'll just headbutt the other guy. What the heck is his name? A. I'm going to headbutt A because I moved that far.
Yeah.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay, the 6.
You gotta take these dice to Vegas, dude.
Dude, I want to, but I've already been banned from a couple of casinos in Vegas for similar things. So that would be 11 damage with a headbutt.
All right, and that ends
Well-
your turn.
That's movement and both the actions. So yeah.
All right.
Well, I did say no witnesses.
He didn't even witness his own death.
Damn.
Lee, I literally just got a feed just for a situation like this, and you threw me in the situation. You wanted this. It's your own fault.
No, didn't quite want this.
And I forgot about my newest feeds.
Motherfucker.
Drugo one.
Kyofin, this guy you just hit with this other guy, A there, tries to swing at you, but you see it coming from a mile away. You get to hit him.
I was gonna ask if I can use the other guy to block.
No.
Damn. Okay. $23 to hit.
Oh yeah, roll some. What?
Okay.
D4 plus.
D4 plus the body. Okay, this time it was very low damage, minimal damage. So it's 7 damage total. Sorry, 6 damage total.
6. All right.
Whack.
And that was hitting him with the D, right?
Yeah, I was hitting him with D.
Oh, they both take 6.
As you do that, you hear a cracking sound.
Steve's neck goes limp.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Does a 15 hit you, Kyofin?
I heard.
Hit who?
Yeah, you
Kyofin.
cut out.
No, AC of 18.
All right. Okay. He's dead. All right. Axis.
My turn?
Yep.
All right, well, I went upstairs, so.
Wait, didn't Archie go before Axis?
Archie's at the top of the round. Axis is in the middle of the round.
Oh, okay.
You said D died, right?
Yeah, D's dead. Davies is
Nate-
dead.
I put his rings on him.
Yeah.
I thought Davey was in the Navy. He probably would be for life.
So, yeah, I need the upstairs map.
I'm going to pull it up now. Oh. Wait a minute. All right.
Okay. So, quick look around. What am I looking up at here?
The ceilings in here is about 10 foot high with rafters, and this is what you see. There's a door that he's standing in front of. There's a door right here. And there's
Okay.
a door right here.
Well, I'm going to assume that the one he's standing in front of is the one that I'm not supposed to be going through. So I'm gonna I'm actually gonna stop right there.
Okay.
Well, I did say no witnesses, so revolvers are going off. That would be a 19 on the first one. And a 22 on the second.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Uh, 27 points of damage as both of the blasters hit him in the chest.
Actually throws him back a little bit up against the wall there. Does that end your turn?
Where's your boss at?
Fuck
Stand
you.
down and you don't have to die.
Fuck you.
Can't say I didn't give you a chance. And then yeah, I'll end my turn.
Alright, that brings us back to
Before
Shit.
before he ends
That's-
his turn, can I yell up the stairs, drop the darkness?
yes. That was actually supposed to have been. Oh no, that's right. Okay. You can yell that.
I'll yell that up the stairs. Because you can drop it as a free action, right?
Bonus action, I think. Or is it dropped at will?
It doesn't say in the spell.
We'll say it for right now. We'll just say it's a free action.
If it's a free action, I'll drop it.
We'll determine it later once we reread the spell. But all right, so you're dropping it.
Yep.
All right. So as it's dropped, A is facing the wall, or the right here's one of those bar things that flip up. He's facing it, and this guy is facing the window with his hand on the frame of the edge there.
And this guy in front of me is still alive, correct? The big A?
Yes.
And B also still has glowing soup.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Hmm?
As soon as the light would have hit the darkness, it would have.
It doesn't kill it. It just couldn't be seen while in that darkness.
No, the spell darkness specifically says that the spell that created the light is dispelled.
Oh, okay.
Unless you cast it at third
Nope.
level.
Nope. Specifically cantrips.
But yeah, that light is gone.
Okay.
All right,
Just
so
being fair here.
Fair
since
enough.
the guy in front of me is technically still alive, 22 to hit him.
One sec. 22 to hit?
Yep.
Yeah, that hits.
Nine piercing. And 7 poison. And if he's still alive, then he needs to make a DC 15 con save.
Dirty 20 on the con save.
All right, then nothing happens.
That's a gate.
And if he's still up, then he gets attacked again.
He's still up. He's looking really rough, but he's still up.
I just rolled a natural 20. He's dead.
He's not up anymore.
I don't have to roll that damage. I already know he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
You go bye-bye.
That ends your turn?
Yes.
Okay. A. Headed this way and this way. And he's running full gate. He'll probably get right about there. B jumps through the glass. Hits the ground and is prone and struggling to get up. C is dead. D is dead. That brings us to Kyofin.
No witnesses.
Wait, where? Oh, they're already out the window?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what? Kyron's who's gonna chase. And he runs faster than they do.
And
Are
through
you gonna go
walls.
jump through the window behind him?
Kyron is going through the goddamn window and going after them.
All right, well, he's on the ground. As you get up to the window, you can see him on the ground there, struggling to get up. And he's got a few large glass shards sticking out of him.
I wanted to
Flop.
jump through the window and just land on him with both feet.
All right.
Directly on his head.
Dynamic entry.
Superhero landing. Superhero landing.
I'm not using lead die anymore. Because he gets really upset when that number comes up, so I'm not telling him that I rolled a 20.
Yeah, he only had a hit point left.
His head goes squish.
Yes, it
And
does.
then I go chasing after the other one.
What other one? You don't see another one. The other one didn't go out the window. Only this one went out the window.
Okay, then Kaifan's just looking around, just trying to remember why he went out the window in the first place.
To squish the guy on the ground.
He's going to slowly walk back towards the. I'm not sure which one that is, but the homunculus and knock quietly, trying to get back inside.
He's gonna go back to the front door.
And knocking politely to come back inside.
Pride is just sitting on the handle for the door. Flaps a little bit and lets him in.
Can I get inside? Thank you, my friend. You are a good bird. I'll make sure you get mouse tonight.
All right.
the grinding sound from when you.
Archimedes.
So step 1 will be I'm taking move actions to fly my ass over the bar to about here.
Okay. That
Is
door.
this door open?
Yes.
Or did it slam shut?
Well, it's actually a swinging door. It's like a saloon style. Yep. So is that as far as you're going?
I'm gonna get right up to. I'm gonna get up to about here. I'm going to just slap the door open.
All right. Now these guys aren't actually here, but I couldn't see them once I dropped them in there.
That's fair. Slap the door open and proceed to here.
This door.
And,
that's an open door.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah. Gonna take my action to pull out the cone and wire and aim to the second floor for access. I think 2 got out through the kitchen. And
Not good. We needed no witnesses.
Well, you're still engaged. So
Yep.
is that it for you, Archimedes?
That's it for me. Pride is going to fucking take off and fly at top speed to about here, heading in this general direction. And
Okay.
trying to spot where the other 2 went. Meanwhile, upstairs, Envy is going to shoot the other guy.
All right, let me switch back to the other map. I thought, yeah, I'll go ahead and put them in folders and get them organized. But it takes much longer to load everything up. All right. So on this map, on the upper map, about where is Envy at, or where's Pride at?
He's that little tiny thing right in the middle.
No, that's Envy.
So
Right around here.
I deleted him, so he will be right about there. Yeah.
All right. So what he notices also is this window is completely open.
No.
Great.
I don't know that.
Nope. Does a 21 hit this guy?
I have to get back to my. Yes, a 21 hits.
A little spiral, a corkscrew force just flies from the end of him right into this guy's chest, doing 6 points of force damage.
All right, that hurt a little bit. Does that end it for you?
That is my turn.
All right. So this guy is going to close.
That's a mistake, my friend.
21 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's a 9, so that one won't hit. And then the dagger is a 24 to hit.
That'll hit as well.
So the first one is 9 points of damage. And then 7 more points of damage from the dagger.
16 total.
Yeah.
Alright, I need a dexterity saving throw from him.
18.
Alright, he'll take half this. He'll take 13 points of fire damage as he erupts in flames.
All right.
Told you that was a bad idea.
And it's your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead, take a 5-foot step back. And he's gonna get lit up again.
Do you have disengage?
I do not.
Attack of
didn't know that was
opportunity.
Is there a way to cast defensively in melee?
You've already used your reaction to do the other spell.
Disadvantage for casting spells. Range attacks and melee spells in close quarters are dead. Disadvantage.
Yeah. You'd be at a disadvantage in close quarters.
I'll stay close quarters.
All right.
So the first one will be a 17 to hit.
He actually takes his sword and uses it to push the gun to the side.
All right, well, I'll just come back around with the other one. 20 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits him. He can only do that once per round. And so.
All right, so he knocks one to the side, and I take the other one, and I shoot it into his throat for 15 points of force damage.
Ooh. Does that end your turn? He's looking pretty bad.
Yeah, that's actually all I can do.
You don't have a bonus action to just punch him?
Nope.
All right.
Unfortunately not.
Kinjar.
All right. I was going to
We need to go to the other map.
yeah, All right, so I am going to run and jump the bar.
Give me an athletics roll. Or acrobat. Or actually, it's an acrobatics to jump over the. Archie flew over
That's
it.
natural 20.
Okay. He one hands it.
And I'm going out the door. I'm using my like full dash, my whole action.
All right, that'll get you right about there.
And do I see anything? Do I see anyone running away?
No. They had at least 2 rounds to get out this door before y'all even started looking this way.
Well, that one guy just ran out like right before.
One guy had
One
2
guy-
rounds on it, or one guy had 3 rounds. One guy had 1 round on us.
Okay. The
I mean, can I like roll investigation?
I think that'd be more of a perception investigation. That would
perception
be
check.
different than the search.
Might even be nature to see or survival to see the footprints.
13.
13. You don't see anything.
All right. Well, I guess that ends my.
You don't see anybody that shouldn't be on that looks suspicious on the streets, and none of them look like this guy.
I will change my appearance to Elvin and end my turn.
All right. All right. Okay.
Hey, boss, how much longer are we going to do this? Because my meds are starting to kick my ass.
Yeah, I think we're almost done for the night here.
There's only one person left here that's alive that
Yeah.
isn't us.
Archie,
Yes.
it is your turn.
Upstairs, we don't need to switch to the map. Upstairs, yeah, hit.
I think we're done with the map for the night.
5 points of damage comes swirling out of the rafters. And Pride goes flying off into the night to try and spot the people that just left.
All right, so it was how.
And meanwhile, I'm just going to spend time in the kitchen checking if anything is hidden here.
Okay. You said, did you attack the guy?
Yeah.
Okay, with what?
Envy is going to do his force strike again. So it was more than it was an 18, it was a 20
Oh, okay.
something to hit, and he hit for 5 points of force damage.
All right.
And investigating in here for anything out of place or, good food to take home.
All right.
Unlike what I was feeding people that did not do anybody any favors.
So we're actually going to end it right there.
Okay.
It's 11 o'clock. You've definitely made an impression.
New pain meds, all kinds of happy.
Not the way I had planned that to go, but
Nope.
Hey, at least I didn't screw it up this time.
So, thanks anybody that came through and watched. I didn't see if anybody was checked us out or if we
A
had
couple
any.
of people after
yeah.
I talked about it in general while we were starting.
All right.
Hilarious came in and spent a while with us this evening.
Well, we're going to end the game here for tonight. We will see what happens. Will they be able to find their prey? A simple bar fight. A simple night of gambling turns into a deadly bar fight. What will happen next week? So thank y'all for coming out and watching. If you like what you saw, you can always support us over here through Patreon or through the subscribe button. Also, support some of the people that support us, which would be Nathan Freeze right there, Freeze Productions. He does all kinds of really cool stuff like that. And DemonDice.ca for dice. Hilarious Game Master because he's just a really cool dude. I'm tired. I want to turn my fan back on, but it sounds like a pickup truck. So, that's all for tonight. We'll see y'all here with this next week. And the next game, I'll be back on tomorrow night with Chaotic Rollers. And then Friday night, we will have Order of the Scale. That's all. Good night, and go forth and roll some dice.